Hi everybody, welcome to Reality Buzz TV. So listen, welcome. We are going to talk more about the reunion of the Mummy Club season 2. Okay, they had 2 parts. And guys, it's hard to sit and do the full reviews, so we'll keep talking about it this way because I thought I was going to have time this morning, but I don't think I'll have enough time and I don't like rushing. So let's talk about the issue that I guess Mrs. Mopps is trying to address when it comes to Ratile and also I guess Nunurai. But I think Mrs. Mopps mostly has more of an issue with Ratile than she does with Nunurai. Okay, so I want to talk about that, you guys. But before I do that, I can see that a lot of people are not believing the panic attack situation Mrs. Sunday, and I can see why people are saying that it might have been fake and it was a way for her to get away from talking about the issues that she needed to talk about. And I see that, you guys. I see why some of you are saying that. I do believe that she did have a panic attack. And I say that because I've had a panic attack before. And what happens is that people around you don't see much when you're having a panic attack. They don't see much, they don't feel much, they don't understand much. And even after it happens, it's very hard to explain it. And so even after when it's done, it's like nothing happened. Even you feel like nothing happened when a few minutes ago you were feeling like you are dying. Like it's just a weird thing that you can't even explain. And but then afterwards it's just like gone. So I've had a panic attack before once when I was still at varsity around exam time. It was very hard to explain to people what was happening, you know. And the only way that my roommate knew that I was having a panic attack is because I find a way to scream, because you can't speak, you can't talk, you just feel like you're about to die, something is about to end, and then your chest is feeling something. So I kind of feel like I do believe what if, especially her being somebody that suffers from, she said she suffered from severe anxiety and depression. So I do believe that. And also I don't think that I think she underestimated how the reunion was going to be like, how much she was going to be called on her stuff, you know. So I do believe in that it was really like the panic attack. But I feel like she thought, I'm just going to go to the reunion, you know, whatever they talk about that concerns me or what I did or what I said, I'm just going to apologize and we'll move on. But that's not how the reunion works. They talk about that and they will express how they feel about you. And so it just became what it became. So definitely for me, you guys, I understand why other people are saying that they don't believe that she really had a panic attack. For me, I believe that she did have a panic attack. It might not be like a severe panic attack, like maybe a mild one, but I could identify with, especially when she was trying to talk and she, you know. So yes, you guys, and I do feel like she might actually come back for the next part to finish up the next part. However, even if she doesn't come back, you guys, I think for the rest of the conversation, she didn't participate much. I don't feel like Mrs. Sanders nanny participated much, because I think in the next segment they will be bringing in the nannies. So I don't know, guys. I think even if she goes home, it's not going to be like, we're not gonna get a lot of answers. Okay, so now you guys, with the Mrs. Mopps and Ratile, okay, we need to go back a bit, because remember when Mrs. Mopps, I'm trying to see if this was an interview that she did, or was it on her channel, or was it beginning of the show. Mrs. Mopps expressed that, listen, one thing that she learned from going through a hard time while on the show is that even though they have the differences that they have on the show, but when you go through a hard time outside of the show, she was surprised that ladies did reach out to her. Remember, she was going through the whole thing of her house. There were reports that the house was about to be auctioned and all of that. And she said that was a true story, but they were able to save the house. So when she was going through that situation, she said she was shocked by how some people from the show gave her support, which she didn't expect. And one person that she mentioned specifically is Ratile. That Ratile did reach out to Mrs Mopps when Mrs Mopps was going through a hard time. Now, you guys, this is between seasons, remember, because that story I did right at the end of season one. Season one had ended. I think it was even after the reunion, and then we got that story. Then, you guys, okay, she says that she was surprised that Ratile had reached out to her, which was very nice. And I think she had expected that Miss Mancha was going to reach out to her, but Miss Mancha didn't, which is why when season 2 begins, she seemed to be more friendly with Ratile than she was with Miss Mancha, who was supposed to have been a friend before. Now, I think coming on to season 2, you guys, Mrs Mopps thought that Ratile was going to be, was not going to come for her much, because you've reached out to me. It gives me an indication that maybe you are trying to see where the friendship can go. Okay, but when the season begins, I mean, we are still getting statements from Ratile that are like, me and Mrs Mopps are not friends. So far so fake. So now during the show, I think this person reached out to me. Maybe there is something there, but obviously she was still on Happy's side. And then you are watching the show back and you are seeing how fake the whole thing was. And I think she came back to the reunion with that energy to be like, I thought that, okay. Because you guys, even when Happy was fighting with Ratile, Mrs Mopps, that's why I was saying in the other video that, Ratile is not the only one that is fake on this show. Everybody has some fakeness in them, because even when they are sitting, remember when they were having a picnic, they're sitting down and then Happy is saying all of these nice things about Mrs Mopps, and then Ratile seems to be irritated by the fact that Happy is kissing Mrs Mopps' ass. Okay, so I kind of feel like there's always an issue that Ratile has against Mrs Mopps. But Mrs Mopps also pretends that she's okay with Ratile, because even when Ratile walks away, she's like, no, Ratile, don't go, sit down, let's talk it out. But then when they are walking away from that scene with Happy, she is laughing with Happy about how Ratile was almost in tears during the scene. And that whole thing was not supposed to be part of the show, because they had walked away. They were walking away from the scene, but they had forgotten that they still had microphones on them. Now, that is the background of how this season went for them. I think that Mrs Mopps did not think that they were going to be coming for each other as much this season, because, of course, Ratile had given her an indication that she is concerned about her. Now, you guys, they are at the trip, Mrs Mopps, and Mrs Mopps gives them the pajamas, which I think she did that not because she wanted to give them the pajamas. She did it because she was supporting a friend's business. She did not make the pajamas. She ordered the pajamas from somewhere. But now we find out it's a friend's business, and it's somebody that everybody on the show knows. She gives them the pajamas. Listen, you guys, it's one thing for me to give you a gift and you're not happy with the gift, but you say thank you so much, But it's one thing for you to get the gift from me, call me and say, Dan, I love your gift so much. Oh my God, I love it. And then at the, behind my back, you're like, these pajamas are horrible. They're not even done correctly. The material looks cheap, So I get to Mrs Mopps there. It was, why didn't you guys just say that you didn't like the, or just say thank you and not say anything, rather than behind my back going and saying go to the pajamas or whatever, the finishings or whatever, which is what Nunurai said. I think, you guys, because at some point I was asking myself, why is Mrs Mopps more upset with Ratile? Because even Nunurai did say that the finishings, when it came to in the diary session, the finishings were not done right or something, or did not look right on the pajamas. Now, when I was thinking about it, I felt like maybe she was more upset with Ratile, because Ratile went a step ahead and even called Mrs Mopps. I thought she was like the one that loved the pajamas, because the pajamas just looked average, you guys. It just looked like pajamas, okay? And sometimes when something is a gift, it's a gift, okay? Like Nosy was saying, like, it's a gift, guys, okay? You want somebody to gift you Brandy, what, Now, I feel like she was more upset with Ratile because Ratile made it, even called and, oh my God, I love the pajamas. Okay. In addition to that, they did the cocktails. Mrs. Mopps and Ratile end up in the same team. They win, they celebrate together with the hug, they're jumping and whatever. And then after that, you guys, I guess, they pretended that they were okay with each other. But that is where Ratile makes the comment of so far, so fake. Okay. So I do think that for me, I understand why Mrs. Mopps is upset about that situation, to say, you are being fake. Throughout the season, you are calling me fake, but you are fake. And Ratile might not be 100% wrong about Mrs. Mopps' fakeness, because we did see fake moments from Mrs. Mopps too, But what I'm saying is that even Ratile is fake, and she also displayed it on the show, but she doesn't recognize her own fakeness, but recognizes Mrs. Mopps. So Mrs. Mopps is coming back to say, you are the one that is fake, but during the season you are talking about my fakeness, and today I'm here to prove to you that you are the one that is more fake than me. I did like the fact that Mrs. Mopps was taking no prisoners, okay? She was not taking no prisoners. She was here to call people off on their stuff. She was going to scream the classy Mrs. Mopps that we all know, with that accent. Mrs. Mopps ukhuluma isiZulu nge-accent ye-English. Sesize sayijwayela, but it's very weird. But she was like, all of that today, uzorora. Mapahlane, uzorola. Hayibo. Emaphambanising the surname. Mabitsela. Mabitsela. Utlorora. Rora no. I did like that, you guys. I liked it because it just added something, At the reunion, you don't need just one person to go crazy a little bit, okay? So I like that, and I like that she was just not going to just let it go, Ratile is good at keeping calm, but I think even as she is keeping calm, if you are somebody that pays attention, you can see her battle from the inside. She's not gonna scream at you and all of that, but you can see she's affected by what is being said. That's why at the trip, after Happy came for her when they were having that picnic, she was walking away almost in tears. Okay, so listen, I feel like I'm struggling to receive Ratile in a way that makes me like her, because it's just like, for me, she's more fake than all of them, even though all of them are fake. And it's hard for me to like Ratile, because even with the pajama situation, she did that. She didn't like the pajamas. She didn't think they were good, but she called Mrs. Mopps to say it's the most amazing gift she's ever received. And then behind Mrs. Mopps' back, she goes and speaks to the woman that owns pajamas. We don't know how that conversation went, okay? And I don't know, guys. Also, when she's doing diaries, did you see when they were showing her saying that she has notes about what she's gonna say? I don't know, you guys. For me, it's like, do you need to practice the shade? Maybe that's why it doesn't hit as much. So listen, I did like Mrs. Mopps that she was like, you know what, this is not the day. Today is not the day, it's not the dates, it's not the year, it's not the week. Not happening, okay? And as much as she did that, because the others didn't do that, I think the reunion was still manageable. We could still watch it, okay? But yeah, I did like the fact that she was calling off Ratile. I did like that. Anyway, you guys, I do like the fact that Happy is keeping calm this season. Maybe it's because they haven't spoken about issues that are directly related to her, but she is keeping calm this season. I like the fact that they touched on that comment that Nunurai had said about Happy's child's dress, because I really do feel like it was unnecessary for Nunurai to make that comment even if she thought it was a fake brand, who is Happy's, the Happy's youngest child was wearing a dress, a certain brand, I can't remember, but she thought that, it's not the right brand, it's fake, and I didn't feel like it was necessary. Had Happy been wearing a fake brand, you can have that conversation. She's part of the show, she's a cast, that's what the show is about. But for her to make that comment about a child, so I do like that they did touch on that. It was unnecessary for Nunurai to make that comment. Nunurai does make a comment to say that she feels that people walked on eggshells around her this season. And I feel like Nunurai didn't really actively participate much. But I do feel like there was an element of others knowing that if you started with Nunurai, you have to be willing to finish it, because she doesn't take ish from people. So she ended up giving us boring this season because she wasn't starting it with anybody, but the others were not starting it with her, and because of that she didn't give us much this season. Maybe that's why she felt the season was boring for her, because normally she's the one that she's going to confront things, she's going to talk about things that people are uncomfortable talking about, but this season she wasn't doing that, and so she ended up just being like, Okay, let me talk about the husband situation, you guys, because Mrs Mopps is also upset that they made a bet, Nunurai and Ratile, that her husband was not gonna come to the event. Okay, listen, you guys, I feel like they were right, really, to say, listen, I bet you, Mrs Mopps, right, as in, it's not like it was the right thing to do, but it did happen. He didn't come. He never comes really to any of the events. She has said herself that he doesn't like the limelight. So now, my thing about that scene was that, Nunurai, but your husband hasn't come around. I don't know Nunurai's husband. I don't even know how he looks like, because he hasn't come around. We've only just seen Ratile's husband. As creepy as he is when he's on camera, but we've seen him. We've seen Mrs. Sanders' husband, and I guess we've seen Nozipo's husband, kind of, sort of. Not on the show, but we know him, So I didn't understand Nunurai with that one, because we also knew that Nunurai's husband was not about to come, because he never showed up for a single scene, even a scene at the kitchen, just at the kitchen, making your husband a sandwich and your husband is sitting on a chair. Sometimes some housewives would do that just for us to see the husband once in a while. Your husband never even did that. So I didn't understand that about Nunurai. Why would you even have that conversation? Why are you not having a conversation about your husband not coming to the event? Why is it about Mrs. Mopps' husband? Even though we know he's not coming, but yours is not coming too. So now I was like, the bet, why was the bet about Mrs. Mopps' husband? Why was the bet not about Nunurai's husband? So even that was another thing that Mrs. Mopps was about. So if you see her screaming on all of these clips that are going around, that's what the scream is about. The scream is about the pajamas. The scream is about how fake and Ratile was to her. The scream is about the fact that they made a bet about her husband coming to the event. She doesn't understand why they did that, because even Nunurai's husband didn't come. So that's what that was about. But I did like Mrs. Mopps going crazy at this reunion, because it did just bring something to the reunion. Okay, anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it before Pumegona, share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. Ngene thanda kakhulu.